At first, I gotta be honest, I wasn't going to address it, but then I thought, with the matchmaking I've seen throughout the last several years, it's highly possible. And I'm talking about Floyd Money Mayweather, pound for pound, 47-0 with 26 knockouts versus Jermaine Bad Intentions Taylor, 34-4-1 with 20 knockouts. May the 23rd, 2014. Now, do I believe it's going to happen? No. Do I believe it can happen? Yes. We've been talking about even Devin Alexander. We've been talking about Floyd Mayweather fighting a black fighter. We've been talking about Floyd Mayweather moving up in weight, capturing a 160-pound title before he retires. Floyd himself even said in an interview he would test the waters at 160 pounds. You got Jermaine Taylor, promoted by Lou DiBella, managed, advised by Al Haymon. Thank you, Al Haymon. Al Haymon also advises Floyd Money Mayweather. Easy fight to make. But then when you look at Jermaine Taylor's opponents, let's look at his last two defeats. You get knocked out by Carl Froch in the last round of a fight he was winning. You get knocked out by Arthur Abraham in the last round of a fight he was winning. Then you go in to fight Caleb Truax. He puts you down. A couple other guys. One guy named was Ken Dealer. I forgot. It was an undercard, basically untelevised fight. And then you beat up the Australian. It's been a bad year for Australians. You beat up the cursed Australian, Sam Solomon. Does that get you Floyd Mayweather despite the title? Now, here's the way I feel. I feel that maybe if Floyd would have fought Manny Pacquiao sooner, or if he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao guaranteed in September, then I feel I would welcome that Jermaine Taylor fight. But it all depends on the circumstances. Now, would fans buy it? The fans would buy that fight because you would have to build it off of the anticipation of Manny Pacquiao's next. So me as a promoter, what I would do is I would say, okay, I would basically do the promotional plan of all you got to do, Mayweather, is win this fight, and I will let the fans know, well, Manny Pacquiao is supposed to be next. All Floyd's got to do is win this fight with Jermaine Taylor, and that right there can sell it. And then that title alone is going to sell it. Now, if you have to think about the fact that, okay, well, maybe somebody's telling Floyd, like, well, Floyd, those days of a million buys right now are pretty much over. So you might as well fight Jermaine Taylor, get that belt for maybe about 600, 800,000 buys. Still, 600 is, I think that's the lowest it would ever be. Get that belt and then fight Pacquiao. If you want to go to 50-0, go, holler at Kell Brook, or if he still has the belt. But you also have to factor in, well, the WBC, the World Boxing Council, headed by Mauricio Suleiman, has been making his mandatories. Leonard Ellerbe, even though Mayweather didn't like it, and Mayweather said he wasn't going to do it at like the last minute, Leonard Ellerbe helped him because Floyd Mayweather was able to keep his WBC 147-pound title and WBC 154-pound title. Why? It's because he defended them both in the same night. So therefore, he didn't have to fight the mandatory. So basically, technically, he's had a voluntary. So whether with the Maidana rematch, and Maidana wasn't a WBC mandatory, it was a WBA title holder. So you have to think to yourself, okay, well, how long are they going to wait before they say, Amir Khan, you're the mandatory. Floyd's got to either vacate or he's got to fight you before May or by May. That can very much happen because let's look at, once again, I say this in various videos, let's look at the heavyweight division. Bermane Stiverne, Deontay Wilder, purse bid. I forgot about cruiserweight. At heavyweight, it's Adonis Stevenson. He gets one voluntary, then he's got to fight Jean Pascal. And then Jean Pascal, whoever wins that will most likely probably fight B-Hop or Sergey. 168, you got George Groves, who's the #1 contender for Anthony Durrell's 168-pound title. At 160, you got Gennady Golovkin, who's the full mandatory. He beat Rubio for the interim, and now he's beat Martin Murray for the silver. So basically, nobody's near him as far as him being #1 contender. Nobody should get a title shot before him. At 154, Floyd has that. Now, a guy by the name of Sergey Rabchenko has that, who's going to be taking on a guy by the name of Anthony Mundine of Australia. At 147, Amir Khan is a WBC 100 and the WBC 147-pound number one contender at 140. Oh, and then remember, all these fights, basically, they're making these fights mandatory. I don't know what's going to happen with that 154, thing. But the point I'm trying to make is the WBC has been making all their mandatories. Even if you go to 140, and then 130, and then 135, that's going to be coming up soon. So, Leonard Ellerbe helped him because, remember, Floyd had fought Saul Canelo Alvarez, then he fought for the WBC title, then he fought Marcos Maidana, and then Marcos Maidana again. So basically, Floyd was for the fight like a 147, then 150, 147, 154. You get me? So defending them in one night, brought him some time. I'm going to say this. You got Miguel Cotto out there. Fans would accept Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather rematch for that WBC title. We may have seen it before, but I think the fight would be different, and fans would accept it. Stephen A. Smith himself said that he's going to think that Floyd is ducking Manny Pacquiao if he fights Amir Khan. Now, Stephen A. Smith said rematch with Saul Canelo Alvarez, rematch with Miguel Cotto, and then Manny Pacquiao. No matter how you look at it, it's getting like way too late. I'm honestly, in my heart, I feel that Floyd just does not want to fight him. And then the bad part about it is he waited too late, like in his career, to take a risk like that, especially that he's looking more vulnerable. Now the odds, go talk to anyone. And I'm going to address this even further. The odds have somewhat evened up before, as far as it used to be, okay, well, Floyd would definitely win. Now people are like, well, I don't know. The aggressiveness, and especially if Manny Pacquiao gets the hungerness. If he gets that hungerness, you don't know what it is yet. I don't know what the hungerness is, but he's trying to get it. And if he's got the aggressiveness. If he gets something called that hungerness, betting odds for Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao have showed up in casinos in Las Vegas. Now, big name places too, or betting places, big name places too. And what I'm saying to you, when I'm Mr. MGM Grand, what I'm saying to you is odds are often opened up, for fights that may or may not happen, but not these big name places. See, I don't like talking about gambling, so I'm going to just leave it at that. But the point I'm trying to make is I said on here that in 2015, Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Floyd Mayweather. Or Floyd Mayweather is going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Why would you have Roger Mayweather, Floyd Sr., did Leonard Ellerbe say it? I don't remember. Sam Watson, many others, Mayweather's May surprise. Remember that May surprise? It could be, I'm fighting for the 160 title, but how did he know Jermaine Taylor was going to get it? Who was going to fight for it? Miguel Cotto plays a big part in all this because we don't know what he's going to do. And Miguel Cotto, he's what they call a diva. He don't release nothing to the media. I'm talking about ask him shit, and he just be like, he just don't share nothing. So until we know what he's going to do, it's kind of hard to lay out the landscape. Because right now, Miguel Cotto himself is allowed a voluntary. So I'm thinking he's going to fight sometime in January. And then, if he's going to fight Canelo in May, they got to start working on that. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live with Real Combat Media. I cover every single major fight live. News, rumors, gossip, whatever you want to call it. All my social media stuff, all the links and everything are right down below. Please subscribe.